Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us today. We got a special guest over here. We got the homie Wes Watson. What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it. We also got co-host Jamie over here.
What's going on?
Jamie making it happen. I know Wes for a little bit now. We go to the same gym over here in Miami. I've seen him coming up. I followed you since San Diego when you were over there, right? Right out of prison. And obviously I identified, but I saw a lot of the change. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit like where you're from, you know, what you do.
Basically, I'm known as America's most famous felon. You know, I dropped a YouTube channel. I call it GP Penitentiary Life. And I told stories about being in prison. And I started to go viral right away because it's taboo. People don't know about the prison life. So when I'm talking about green dot money packs, when I'm talking about the shoe, when I'm talking about getting tattoos with melted plastic as the ink, I mean, people really listen. But what they started to hear was this message of overcoming. And everybody out here on the street, they think they got problems. Yeah. But they're really just the creator of their problems. They don't really have adversity. So I like to tell people, like, until you're no longer the problem, like once you get out of the way and you're no longer the problem, then life's gonna start getting in the way. And this is what I help people with. Successful people who are starting to hit those big strides where life's starting to come down on them. They have to be stronger mentally and physically. And then people who are finding themselves where they're still the problem and they gotta drop the drugs, drop the drink, drop the bullshit, drop the partying, drop the bad habits, drop the procrastination, and really get back to life and start to create their existence in a way that they like it. Be the architect of their own life and live a life of their design.
So let me ask you. So like, cool, right? And I'm in alignment with that and everything, but like, when did it change for you? Because obviously it didn't change before you went to prison because you went to fucking prison, right? But when was that, not that it has to be a moment, but like when do you notice it was that defining point where you're like, you know what? I'm accountable for me and I need to fuck
So
up.
I'm an idiot. I kept fucking up. So I did 10 years in California prison, CDC. And I mean, I had 5 different chances while I was in there to stop. I was still using drugs in prison. I was still drinking. And this was until like 2014. So it was probably about 6 years that I was still using and doing shit. And what happened was the last time I got high and drunk. Last time I got high and drunk in prison, one of these little homies from a Southside hood in LA, this fool Mongo from Matavia, he made some prison wine, some Pruno. And I started sipping it. And at that time, me and my people were selling all the dope in prison. We had the white, we had the black. I mean, we had it on blast, bro. Like, I literally had like a wall right here by my bunk with like milk containers that have like a made strip of line by it. So I could hang my towel, my clothes. And like other people could say they're using this. They can't really say it's mine. And in this communal area, in these milk cartons, we just had them stacked with dope, you know? And like fucking just, you know, my people are holding on to shit, having pre-bagged up shit, dishing it out. But I started drinking. I did a bump of some speed. And I went off to the races. And people think you can't party in prison. They think like the party ends when they leave the street or something. You're in prison on a smartphone, and you're on like fucking Plenty of Fish when that was like a thing. And you're doing coke or you're doing speed and drinking. It's like you're doing coke and drinking alcohol at a club on the street. Like you have the same thing. You're talking to chicks. You're fucking doing drugs and you're drinking. And that was always my thing. That was like what I did. Because, I mean, every man really, I think, that's flossy like me and likes nice shit, they're always after hot chicks. Like, that's why dudes even go drink. They're not going to drink because they love talking to their buddies so fucking much. They're out there fucking trying to pull chicks. That's what they're doing. So, that just never stopped when we went into prison. And then after this time, I got drunk and high for the last time. I went on a run for like 2 weeks. And then I ended up whooping my bunkie's ass all bad. I dropped a fat sack in the day room. And my bunkie said I was going around fronting on people about dropping that sack. And it was a big sack of some white. And he said I was fronting on other races, like, who's got my shit? Yeah. I was high as fuck. I'm like, who picked up my fucking shit? What's up? And you can't do that because it's like start a race war. And then he goes and tells the guy who has the yard, this fool Dutch from Shasta County, he goes and tells Dutch, hey, Wes dropped a huge sack, and he's like fronting on other races. And Dutch is like OG, and this fool Tony don't know that he's a lame, you know? And he's like, he don't get how the prison works. And Dutch is like, so what happened? Your bunkie dropped a fat sack, and you're over here telling on him? Is that what happened? He's like, you're over here telling on him, right? He's like, I don't give a fuck what he's doing. Did it kick off yet? He's like, No, he didn't know he fucked up. And Dutch is like, why you telling on your bunkie, fool? He's like, I don't give a fuck what he's doing. You don't fucking,
101.
you don't tell on him, motherfucker. And then and Dutch goes, guess what? I dropped some big ass sacks in this block, and Wes gave them to me, motherfucker. What's up? He said, guess what? Go back to your block. And Tony comes back to the block, and then I get a kite, and I get called over to Dutch's block. And I'm like, what's up, dog? He said, why's your bunkie over here telling on you? I said, what's that fat motherfucker doing? He's like, go handle business. So I go back and I just start beating the bark off this fool. I'm throwing him through the fucking dividers in the bathroom. I'm beating the shit out of him, fucking him up all over the fucking building. And I end up going into the blacks area. And like, you can't go into another race's area whooping your fucking, you can't go into another race area doing shit. And the fight spilled over into there. So then I had to get DP'd. And when I got DP'd, that means like I get tag team, two people of my own people get to whoop my ass. So then I have to fight two of my own people. And I had beat up the one kid the week before, this kid Flex, big ass kid from Orange County. So he was pissed. And the guy Anthony picked Flex and picked Tony, who I just beat up to DP me. So they had a fucking vendetta, and they whooped my ass. I thought I was going to win. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to fuck both these fools up. We put the bunks apart. We put the sheets up to block from the cops. And I'm like, I'm going to fuck both these fools up. A fool just jumped down, grabbed my legs, and the other fool teed off on me. Just some, like, what if you were the guy? He's like, you jump down and grab his legs. Yeah, you're worthless, motherfucker. But that was when I stopped. That's when I stopped for good. I started picking up personal development books. My face was all fucked up. They like broke my nose. I never got a heal, but it was just fucked up. And then I sat on my rack for probably a week. I couldn't go to chow because I was just kind of couldn't go show the cops that I got fucked up. And then that's when I changed my life. I said, I'm embarrassed, I'm embarrassed that I got my ass beat. I'm not going to be a dumb, drunk, fucking high liability ever again.
Yeah.
What year was that?
This was 2014.
So you were in for how long at that point?
6 years.
Let me back up a little bit for somebody who wants to know a little bit, like, how'd you come up? Where were you? Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in
what did that look like?
Oceanside, San Diego, and I was pushing weight. I was, I bought like my first quarter ounce at like 11. And I started pushing weight. And then I went up to like a half ounce, and I'm like 11. And I like 12, I get like my first ounces and quarter pounds. And then by like 14, I'm getting like pounds at a time. By like 16, I bought like a Chevy Z71 Silverado cash, like with TVs in it, all this shit. And everyone knew I was a drug dealer. Everyone knew people would sell coke for me and sell weed. And it wasn't that big at the time, but I was making big money because I was just disciplined. I would just, every dollar went towards my next re-up. Like, I was just disciplined, like, with my money. And then by the time I started getting older, like, I started meeting big people who would front me big packs and float me big ass work, and I started meeting some Canadian connects that would front me them BC pounds. And they'd come down and just fucking like truckloads of hash plant, juicy fruit, vacuum seal. You cut the top off, you pull it out, it's one big nug like this. And it's, 448 or 458 grams, like a grower's pound. I just put a trash can on a mailing scale, put it in there, take the 10 grams out the top of it. And then I'm like, put it in another bag. I'll run through 250 pounds, take 10 grams out the top of each pound on 250. I already made a shitload of money off going through the work. Then I go give the work out to everybody, and I'm making, $100 to $300 off fronting out each pound. And these guys are cuffing it to me,
Damn. So what made you, what was the excitement? Was it money?
Oh, it was money. It was power. It was money. I was young. I had a Range Rover. I had a condo, like a penthouse in San Diego. I mean, my boy had a Bentley.
Even before that, like, what was school like? Were you like always getting in trouble? You were attracted to girls? Like, what was?
Oh, school was like I was a skateboarder, a surfer. Yeah. I was skate, surf, and snowboard.
That's my shit, man.
I was actually a sponsored snowboarder. I was in some videos and shit. It's like fucking. I travel the world and shit snowboarding too.
You got in fights in school?
Oh yeah, always. You were always fighting, always problems.
You don't look like you started fighting.
Yeah, and it's not really, But yeah, I was always. That's when people. That's the funny thing about the internet nowadays. Like, a lot of people talk about MMA and talk about fighting, and that's cool if that's what they do. But I just think that's like new to them. Like, my whole life we were just whooping ass. So it's like people are like, Wes, you want to box me or something? I'm like, I care so little about fighting. I've always been able to knock someone out. I've just always been able to knock people out. And then I would always take it too far. So I don't like want to fight. Like I want to make money and be successful, you know?
Well, you would fight to win.
Yeah.
There was no like sport.
Yeah,
in it.
no-
Like
no
you're either
sport.
getting your ass beat or you're giving somebody beat.
Yeah.
But you said something important. You take it too far. It seems like you took everything
Yeah,
too
and
far, right?
that's what motherfuckers do. They're like, hey, let's take it to the ring. It's like, bro, if you beat me, there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and
I don't want to
finish
lose.
this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna literally come fucking stick something metal in the side of your head. And people watch this shit. They're like, "What? Why would you talk like that? Like I thought you said all that spiritual stuff on other posts. You can be spiritual and be a bad motherfucker. What the
Absolutely,
fuck is
man.
up with everyone? It's not about this or that in life. It's about this and that. Like I can have a connection with God, be a great guy, and if you come front on me or my family, I'll kill your motherfucking ass. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. And all these people talk all this shit because like they know you got something to lose now. It's like, bro, I went to prison for fucking like real crimes. You ain't never done shit. Shut the fuck up, you know? Like they always try to like talk down on your charges or how much time you did or your crimes. It's like a nerd from like Illinois who fucking he can't even fuck, dude. It's like this guy's never even done a fucking week in lockup.
The problem is he's never been smacked in his
Never
mouth.
been smacked in his
in the street.
motherfucking mouth.
You know that I find a lot of problems in society today can be handled with an open hand smack in the
Dude,
mouth.
it's
you know?
dude, these people are so passive aggressive. It's pussy. Like my neighbor the other day.
Internet tough guys, bro.
Neighbor the other day, he's building this mega house and it's just dusting my cars. And I go like this, I roll up, I go, hey, you building this house right here? And he's like, yeah, it's mine. I said, well, when are you guys gonna stop dusting my cars? And he said, you moved next to a construction site. I'm like, wrong answer, motherfucker. Like any answer would have been good. Like, I'll try. We're going to start wetting the place down more. I'll put up a bigger tarp. Hey, that would suck. Anything like that. But he was just like, oh, you moved next to a construction site. You're fucked. I'm like, what'd you say, motherfucker? And his wife and his kids right there. And he's like, he just automatically was like, oh, I fucked up, you know? Because this guy looked like Manny Koshpin. Like he had like the eyebrows. He had like the fucking.
He had the bushy eyebrows.
He fully looked like fucking, like he had the fake fucking face looking shit. He had a better, Manny has a way better body, but this motherfucker had the fucking tits, the gut. He's in the Cullinan. He had like the young Russian wife. And she's like telling me to like calm down. I'm like, dude, I literally, bro, wrong dude, you know? It's like just, a lot of people need to get fucking smacked.
They need to get checked.
Yeah.
They need to get
but
checked.
nowadays, like all these people who follow like some of these pussier influencers and shit, they're like, and I've said it before, strength is restraint. But I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, nah, but some of you motherfuckers should get smacked like a motherfucker. And then I'm kind of like, I want to teach people to not fucking put up with shit no more. Because a lot of people are so fucking pussy because their whole life they never stood up to nothing. You mean like new kids I meet that have never been in a
No
fight?
backbone. Nothing.
They've never even been in a fight, bro.
No, listen, standards have gotten lower, right? So a lot of people struggle with like, I want to hear other people, but your standards are your standards, right? Like you can't fold on them, you can't bend on them, and you got to stick up for them or somebody else is going to fucking run you over. Let me ask you something. Cool. Because you talked about that change that happened in 2014, right? You started doing like personal development a little bit in prison. What's one of the books where you were like, damn, they're speaking my fucking language?
Basically, I would say like Art of Living by Epictetus, a Stoic book. Like thinking stoically helps me good because it's just cut and dry. It's like, here's the fucking answer. Like, one of the pages I read, like starting out is hard. Like everything's gonna be hard at the start, but once you have that mindset shift, when it occurs, stopping becomes harder than starting ever was. And a lot of people never really get there in life. And like, I'm such a fucking committed individual that like, there was a path when I got out, and this was getting on social media and starting to build your brand, your presence. And I just said, I'm gonna do this. And like, that's the same thing as snowboarding. I went one time and I did like a ugly ass 540 on a hip, and I'm like, I'm gonna be pro. And then I was. And then this same thing, like I did my first post, I'm like, I'm gonna make millions doing this. And then I did. Like the whole thing is like, we don't have an education issue in America or in the world. We have an application issue.
Absolutely.
Everyone's trying to like be hyper educated, but they don't execute shit, bro.
I say it all the time. The audio don't match the video. Like there's a lot of people that are gonna like give you the receipts on the books they read, on the seminars they went to, their coaches this, and they don't do shit.
There's no action behind it.
You got to be able to measure it. So all right, cool. The other thing I noticed too is like I don't know what your schooling is, but I know that like you know how to you talk how you talk, right? And you curse and everything a lot, and so do I, which is fucking great. But you also know how to articulate everything that you read. You know what I mean? And everything that you picked up, and you have a very interesting way of delivering everything. Is that like also what you kind of picked up in prison?
Well, like I always say, conscience congruent living turns confusion to clarity.
Yeah.
So I read one quote, bro, and it said your conscience is the authentic voice of God. And I ran with it. I said, okay, that's God talking to me. Done. And then my conscience was just telling me, get jacked, get way fucking swole. And I just was like, I got to get swole as fuck. And that was my goal in prison. And then my conscience telling me, get blasted, all this prison ink, you know. And that was obvious because I always wanted that look. That's why I even went to prison. Like, I wanted to look like that. And I didn't want to like fucking like, I wanted to like have the receipts, you know, like I fucking went to prison, fucking I've been to places, yeah. And like that was just where I come from. That's like a thing. And then I just thought those were the baddest motherfuckers. And I realized most of them are pussy ass drug addicts. And then I fucking, the next thing it was calling me, my conscience was calling me to do was to just grab quote books, like big ass, unabridged, massive A to Z quote books, and just write by hand every fucking quote that resonated with me. And I'll write pages and pages of quotes that resonated with me. And then I took that to books. Then I started grabbing books that I liked and just, I would read a page and rewrite the whole page in my own words. And then I'd read another page, rewrite the whole page in my own words. So little did I know I was like practicing copywriting skills and speaking skills at a high fucking level, like for years, bro, like relentless. If you saw this dude's ability to sit there for 4 hours and just fucking write shit, you'd be like, obviously this fucking psychopath is gonna be good at something. This dude's fucking Rain Man or some shit. But I couldn't fucking drop that quote. So even till today, you know, even when I have problems in the street or in life or in relationships or whatever, I just go back to my conscience. And it makes it difficult because a lot of people live outside of their conscience's call. So they're like, nah, just go do this, bro. I'm like, that's the easy decision. That's what you want to do. But my conscience doesn't tell me that. Like, God's telling me to do this. And they're like, that's a fucked up situation. I'm like, but there's something in there. There's something in there that I need. And I'll follow my conscience just without fail, bro. And that's how I got where I'm at today. Because I never tried to build a business. I never tried to make money. I just try to deliver a message each day that I would really need as a man and anyone could use. And that's all I ever do. Like I wake up and my goal is to like really connect, be that antenna and connect above to the collective whole and say, what does everybody need to hear today? Do they need to see some motivation, like some cars, some tangible gains, some physical stuff, or do they need to really hear a message? But me really, when I make my content, I make it in the form of like a lifetime. So my daily post is like a lifetime of growth. So you start in the morning and it's like, it's the motivation and everything like that's building you and creating you into the man you need to be. So like from your teens, 20s, 30s, that early motivation to get you to go do the work. And I'm showing the work I'm doing. Then mid part way of the day, I'm posting something about some of the results we get, the gains we'll have, like if we did the work. And then the end of the day, it's usually family or relationships because this is how life's going to go. Like your 20s to 30s, you're going to be motivated, getting it, winning. Your 30s to like 50 and 60, you're going to be living with the fruits of like what you gained throughout the work process. And then as you're about to die, it's going to be like, man, it was all about the relationships. So I kind of schedule my day like someone's life will unfold. You know, I do everything really deep, but I don't really explain it to people because usually I like to tell them, shut the fuck up and go do the work. You're not at this level.
What does that look like? You wake up in the morning. What's the first thing you do?
At 2:45, I wake up every morning and I basically go, motherfucker. Like I just piss. You know? 2:45 every morning I wake up and I'm like another chance to prove to everyone that I'm the motherfucker, you know? Like I'll prove to them that I'm the one who is supposed to carry this torch.
Is there some prayer that goes into that?
I'm always talking to God. I don't have to pray. Like,
okay.
I'm basically, when I say that, I'm like another
prayer.
Chance to prove that I'm that motherfucker and I'm doing your work, you know? And some people be like, that's not God's work. Shut the fuck up. You ain't never even helped nobody. Nobody listen to your fucking lame ass. Some nerd, I'm doing God's work. Nobody listens to you, bro. They hate when you're talking. Like, we're talking about willingly, voluntarily, people truly following because they want the life you live. live. So wake up at 2:45, it's straight like conversation above, like, hey, we got another chance to prove this shit. Let's go. And then I make my breakfast and my coffee. And I'm at the gym in the parking lot at like basically 4:15. I'm in the parking lot and I'm answering messages, catching up.
You're the first one in there.
Yeah,
He's I'll vouch.
yeah,
He's the
first one right.
Yeah.
This morning I had 4:05 on the bar right when the fucking door opened.
That's every day, 365.
Yeah, every day. Except on the weekend in Miami, it opens at fucking 8.
If it opens at 8, I get there and I'm like, yo, I'm there too fucking early.
Yeah, if he's here on Saturday, we'll hit arms at 8 a.m.
So what are you doing? Burpees by the pool until 7:30?
On that day I do. So on the weekends I do some burpees by the pool, and then I go do some shit. I gotta get some of my energy off. That's what people don't get. All you guys listening, it's called working out because you wake up with undesirable traits. You wake up with fear. You wake up with limiting beliefs. You wake up with a mindset that's not optimal to build the best life, and you work that shit out of you during your workout. It's not just for building muscle.
It's for building mental
100%.
fortitude.
Yeah, listen, I think I'm one of those that see you like I see the discipline that you have too. You know what I mean? Like every day like clockwork, you're getting up at that time, you're by your pool, you're doing your burpees or you're going to the gym, and I physically see you when I'm down here too. And were you always that disciplined with stuff,
prison.
or you dialed it in?
Yeah,
right?
prison made it militant. But even when I was snowboarding and I was from San Diego, I was so disciplined. I would drive from San Diego to Big Bear every day and back. Like I was disciplined to anything I'm doing. I'm real disciplined to.
You're like all in.
Yeah, I'm all in. But that's the biggest thing is that the discipline on the other end of like the workout shit. I mean, people don't realize they're like people who are just starting out. They're like, oh man, I have to diet like that for life. It's like, no, during that phase, we have to get you ripped. But then there'll be phases where you eat more, you crush workouts, you put on size. So I really I stay in a good groove with my diet to where I'm not killing myself with the foods. I still eat good food I like in Miami, but I structure my shit correctly. I'm eating real low fat, high protein throughout the day. I have like one meal I like at night, and I go to a dope place. I pull the fuck up. I mean, dude, I love how you pull up in the Lambo. I like your style. I mean, what the fuck happened to these motherfuckers where they thought a gold watch and a Lambo was a problem and tattoos were a problem? Fuck all you motherfuckers listening who fucking think that's an issue. That's the man's style, dude. Like, this is my fucking style. However the fuck you want to be. I'll never be on your page going, what the fuck? Like, you got this Call of Duty set up like this? That's not manly, you fucking lame. Like, I don't give a fuck about Call of Duty. I don't give a fuck about your video game setup. I'm not gonna be on your page tripping on your fucking video games. You guys come trip on people like me and Philippe because you want to be like us. Just learn how to be like us. Learn how to not be a pussy and go get the tats you want. Go get the watch. Go get the bitch. Go get the whip. Like, a motherfucker who wants some shit and goes and gets it, that's the deepest, rooted fucking strength fucking tip I could give someone. Because so many people want something and they won't just say, I want that and go get it,
Let me go back a little bit because I'm in the restaurant business. You talk about food. Like, what does breakfast actually look like?
Oh, for me, I just have cream of rice with protein powder, and it's fire. It's like some Gerber,
prison
like Gerber cream
still.
of rice with protein powder in it. It's just I just neck it. Dude, yeah, like basically in prison.
Simple.
Yeah, basically in prison you're having like cream of wheat, oatmeal, or like the yellow one. What's the yellow?
Grits.
Yeah, the grits. Like I love those grits. You put the sugar in them. You're whooping ass with them motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
You think that shit would sell up in New Jersey or what?
Great. I don't know. It's not for everybody.
What does lunch look like? What time do you eat? How many meals you eat a day and stuff?
By then I've gone to Pura Vida right here like 4 times just to get shakes.
Just banging. Yeah.
'Cause I literally have like shakes or just protein throughout the day because that keeps me with some mental clarity. And if I would have ate pancakes before this, you would have known. I'm fucking turnt because I haven't had a carb.
You get lethargic and shit, right?
Like carbs are gonna make you have an insulin spike. You're gonna feel slow. You're gonna move. You're gonna feel a little slower. You're gonna be a little lethargic. But I don't have any carbs till after all my work's done.
And then your free and clear meal is like nighttime
nobody
dinner.
listen to how I eat. Like get up.
I'm just curious for myself. I just started my own workout journey.
I just want people to like get a pro who can make their diet. Because like any normal person, I'd have them on balanced carbs, balanced protein, balanced fat, 5 meals a day, 3 hours apart. We drop as much as weight as we can off those. Once we plateau on dropping weight off that with those certain macros, we cut them down again. We drop more weight, cut them down again, drop more weight. As many adjustments till we get them fully ripped. Some people could run it off the first adjustment. Some people it's going to take a bunch,
How do you start out those workout programs? You have somebody like me walk in the gym looking like Gumby.
Yeah, I just I do it through my app. So on my training app, I just set up the workout and the diet, and then we're on Zoom calls talking about it.
Is it a lot of body work stuff in the beginning and just
mainly gym shit, just normal bodybuilding shit, normal push pull legs routine at the gym. That's what works the best.
And you've been doing this your whole life? Like, when did you start actually working out?
Like 14, I had the Arnold Encyclopedia bodybuilding, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna be jacked like these motherfuckers.
So you had that mindset from childhood.
I knew when I was young.
You're playing with trucks. It's 4 hours in the fucking backyard, right? Like that's what I'm doing.
I knew when I was young that I was gonna fucking I knew when I was young I was gonna fucking I had to be swole, if I was gonna like my life, because I was like chubby as a kid, and like my dad and my brother would make fun of me and shit, and I'm like, fuck you motherfuckers, I'll kill you motherfuckers. Like I was vicious as a kid. Like I had a mouth on me. I would tee off on my brother if he's talking shit right away, like no hesitation. Pa, what? Like,
you got one brother?
Yeah,
older.
We were crazy. Yeah. He's in and out of prison too.
What does that look like now? Family relationships?
Oh, my mom and dad are cool, but they struggle. And then my brother, he's trying to figure his life out in and out of prison. So, and drug abuse and shit.
Hey, what do you say to people? So I get this sometimes, right? People think that I'm the way I am because of the trauma that I had, and that you kind of got to go through trauma to get there.
Shit, bro. If I hear another grown man talk about, say, gaslighting or bully or trauma, I'm gonna slap the shit out the motherfucker. Dude, these guys just they take on these feminine terms, bro.
Well, they think that, listen, because I'm in and out of jail, shot dope for fucking couple decades, they're like, that's why you changed. And I'm like, yo, it was voluntary. You don't need to do it. And it's not trauma. You know what I mean? I made a decision to do it. That's my accountability. But they say that, like, you're successful or you're this because you went through that shit. And little do they know, like, they don't got to go through none of that shit. They just got to make the switch. They got to make the fucking change.
Yeah, they think like the depth of your pain will match the height of your success. But yeah, that's the thing. You don't have to. I mean, I really didn't have to go through all that. It's just, I was committed before that. I was the type of person who was committed even before prison. I was so committed, I went to prison. I was just committed to fucking gangster
whatever it
shit.
was.
Yeah.
Yo, you said it before. That was kind of one of your goals. Go to prison, get swole, get fucking tattooed.
Dude,
so you had to look up to somebody around the way.
My whole thing, I just had bad role models and a bad rite of passage into manhood. Like the rite of passage into manhood is everything. And that's what people who want to talk shit about, like my page or something, I'm giving young men a rite of passage where it's like, get up early, read, work out every day, eat better, don't do any drugs or drink. And these guys who are Christians are sitting there drinking and smoking and shit and fat and shit and acting like they have a good path for people. I'm like, bro, if we follow your path, we're fucked. If we follow mine, you're in a good place, They just want to say, because I talk a certain way, they try to use like societal standards for speech to deter people from my message. But the real people know. They're like, that's going to work for me. I don't want that. Yeah.
Yeah, the message is way deeper. It's it comes from the right place.
You don't want to have to explain your message to people. Anyone who's committed to misunderstanding you, tell them to fuck off,
They're not for you.
Yeah, they're not for you.
So, all right, cool. Getting into that. So when did you see, like, we're going to talk on the business side, right? When did you see, like, cool, I could actually help people, right? Because talking to you a little bit, like, yeah, there's the money part, but I know there's the fulfillment and helping people and seeing people shit and do that, right? When did it switch where you're like, yo, I could actually...
I always talk shit, though. Like, I'm good at what I do because I don't give a fuck about, like, I really don't care if someone like really wins or anything. Like, I don't give a fuck, Like when you're at my level of coaching people, so many people lose, you can't really be all excited about someone winning or losing. You're just like, I'm just going to be a solid example. And if people win, obviously I'm proud of them. But so many people just talk to you all day that they're going to change and kill it, that you cannot feel any type of way about any individual person. Like I said on podcast the other day, like if I die, keep it moving. If you die, keep it moving. What the fuck? Like, I don't want you to fucking miss a beat. But everybody literally, they just don't fucking get that, the money's cool, whatever, but I literally am not fulfilled if I don't make myself right. I really think everyone's supposed to be really selfish, and they're supposed to just build the best version of them all day. And that's what they're doing, building the best version of them all fucking day, their whole life, best version of them, only focused on them. And that what in turn that is not selfish, because now they have a true leading example for other people. And then once they finally see that, then they go from self-actualization to finally transcending self-transcendence, and then they become the teacher. But for 3/4 of your life, or like at least half your life, be selfish as fuck, building the best you, and then you actually make that shift into become the teacher. And now you have an inadequate product, which is self. You're an adequate offering of self to give to people. So they'll even ask you, I don't have to sell my programs. I fucking just post who I am. They're like, how do I get that? You know, it's just, I mean, the crazy thing is when people are out there trying to sell shit, they're like, I can't sell it. It's like, you're not it. They're not buying what you are, fool.
You're not a real product.
You're not a real product. Like the whole thing is like people like, they try to sell coaching or a product or service, and they're telling the middle like the work the person's going to do. They don't need that. They need to see where you were. They need to see where you are. They need to trust you, and then they buy the middle. They don't even want to know what the middle is. They
don't care.
They say, if I buy that, can I get that?
Yeah.
And if it's true, then yes.
You gotta be transparent.
That's a crazy concept for people though, to be selfish, right? That's what it's all about. If I'm the best version of me, I can help you become the best version of yourself.
I have to
because I
focus on
found
me.
my true spirit,
I
right?
have to focus
What I'm
on
meant
me.
to be and what I'm meant to do. It's tough. It's a battle every day though, like you said. You know, I'm bringing it back to working out, right? Like you get up every day. You're not spiritually fit, right? You're not mentally prepared. You're down on yourself. Lack of motivation, lack of spirit, all of it.
Dude,
You got to get connected every day.
Yeah, I do. That's so good. I call it it's a process of removal. So like I wake up and I have some fears that, man, what if my business does fail? Or man, what if my marriage does fail? Or man, what if fucking this happens? What if that happens? And as I go into my morning process, I'm strengthening myself. And as I strengthen myself, I'm strengthening my belief in what I'm doing, and I'm removing the doubt at the same time. So the whole thing is like, I like to say, you know, fear is what if, and faith is even if. So I can operate from faith, and that's why I know it's a God-given purpose that I'm living. Someone who's not living this God-given purpose, they could sit there all day going, what if I lose my money? What if this? What if this? That's going to truly erode their straight soul. But if I wake up every day and say, even if, I'll still post. I love the attention. I love to post. Even if my wife walks out on me, I'll still love her. I'll still help her. Even if my my business fails, I'll still post for my followers. Even if I wake up sick tomorrow, I'll still get up and do it because they need me. Like no matter what, I won't be stopped. And most people can't talk that way because they don't have my track record. I've never missed anything, not one time, ever, because I really need it.
Because you said you own this and that. You're both things all
That's
at
why
once.
people are really fucked up with me, because they think I have to fit their box. So if I say God and Christian and this and that, they're like, well, why are you cussing then? I'm like, I don't fit in your box, motherfucker. Or they're like, I'm showing money and then I'm showing family. They're like, well, which one is it? I'm like, both. I don't fit in your box, motherfucker. That's your little box.
You're like a spiritual barbarian, bro.
Dude,
I see it come out both, you know, it's happening.
You constructed that weird box that you're talking about.
Right.
I don't have one.
I never fit in your box and I never will.
I've never
makes
had
me
a
who I am.
job, bro. I've never checked in.
You never had one
Never
job.
in my life. I've never got a paycheck unless it was the first 2 days that I went to flip pancakes in the scullery in prison. Like I went to work in the kitchen and for 2 days and I made 8 cents an hour. And that was my first paycheck, 8 cents an hour. And I said, fuck you guys. You could take my TV. We were cell living. You could take my TV. You could take my radio. You could take my hot pot, take my appliances. I'm not going back. They didn't even fuck with me. They just left me alone. But that was my first job. I got a check for 8 cents an hour.
That's a wild stat for those of you out there.
Now, literally, last month I made 2.8 million.
Nice.
Like I drive around in a $5.5 million car like it's a daily driver. I don't even drive my Phantoms anymore. I really just drive the Urus and the Bugatti.
So 2.8, we got to do some math on that, brother. How many cents an hour is that?
Oh yeah, 2.8 million. It's a lot of pancakes, bro.
That's a lot of pancakes, bro.
Yeah.
But,
good for you,
But yeah,
man.
the thing is like, someone told me this morning who's close to me, who's like really successful. He said, now that you don't have so many cars, Do you feel more spiritual? I'm like, nah, I don't even give a fuck about that. I have moments of every day where I'm everything. Like I'm real spiritual at times of my morning or my day or when something's happening. But then I go back into the sensory world and I gotta make money. I gotta talk to the lawyer. I gotta talk to this person. You can't spiritual bypass. So spiritual bypassing is when you're so spiritual, you're not even existing correctly in the tangible environment. Like your sensory world is crumbling around you because you're so spiritual, you act like it doesn't matter. And then you're spiritual as fuck, but you're broke as fuck. And nobody's gonna listen to your lame ass. Like, I only listen to people who have the life I want. Like, and if it's aspects of your life that I want, then I can listen. Like, I love when people make sense and connect deep topics. I love that shit. But if you don't have the results to back it up, I automatically know that hypothetical is hypocritical and I won't listen to you. So now you're automatically out of my roster, like, and your word means nothing. So
I think what's lacking in a lot of people is like they're information whores, right? They're fucking thieves and they don't execute. They don't follow through, right? Because they feel like if I'm very spiritual or if I'm knowing, it's like, how do you know somebody reads books? They fucking let you know they read books, right? How do you know people are doing shit? They're doing shit. They have different measuring tapes for us.
That's it. One of my favorite quotes back in the day when I was writing all those quotes in prison was, to know and not to do is not to know.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up, bro. You like, a guy comes up to me in the gym and he's like, you should do your push-ups like this. And I'm like, will I look, wait. Will my chest look like yours if I do push-ups like that? And the guy's like, abort mission, abort. No. Let's answer this, homie. Will my shit look like yours if I do push-ups like you? And the guy's like, oh, come on, Wes. And it's like, nah, motherfucker, what the fuck?
You're going to open up your mouth. You better fucking have the information.
It's like all the business.
And the work.
It's like all the business guys who do coaching or stuff online. And they're like, you do better with closers. I'm like, I close all my deals, you know. You do better with closers. I'm like, is that how you're making so much? They're like, well, I'm just saying you would make more. I'm like, maybe that's not the case. And I close so much because it's me. Have you ever thought about that? And they're like, huh. And I'm like, it's not. And they're thinking if it's going to work for them. I'm like, it's not going to work for you. You didn't pour into your audience like I did. Like, I really changed each one of my clients' lives before they ever signed up. And people ask, well, how long does it usually take you to close a lead? I say 2.5 years. Like, I close my leads over a 2.5 year period.
You walk them through it. I teach them so much over that time. They're like, bro, you've changed my life. Like, and that's what's so crazy. Like, there's people who'll be like, I don't even care if I get a result. I owe you this money. Like, you've already done it for me. Let's see if I can learn some new stuff. And they always do. But that's what you want to do. You want front end value as a man so much to where you're such an asset that they fucking, I mean, you're no longer like these motherfuckers who are just tolerated. You're celebrated as who you are, you know?
So you said something important, my bad, but you said your roster, right? What does that look like? Who are the people that surround you? And, you know, proximity is power. He says it all the time.
Well, let me chime in. So, like, bounce off that. So, like, cool. You talked about modeling a little bit. Like, if I want those results, I'm going to get those from your attributes or this, right? So, like, who are people, individuals in different aspects, whether it's physical, spiritual, monetary, whatever it is, who do you know, who models it for you?
I mean, honestly, fuck.
Not necessarily your name, but just like...
There's really nobody I look, like right now that I look up to. I've had moments in time where different people were like guiding me, but I mean, honestly, like me and my own people kind of push each other. So like, look at my boy Jados. I didn't want to buy a Bugatti, bro. I did not want to buy I
saw how that played out.
I did not want to get one, but he got one, and then he's like, you have to get one now. And I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers. And then like 2 days later, it's like, bam, I got fucking the SVJ of Bugattis. And I didn't even try to, bro. It landed in my lap. All this shit is meant to happen. Like, anything that you're attracted to, anything you're drawn to is inseparably connected to your purpose. So who you are is respected by a man like me because I'll see you and I know what you're doing. I know who you are. And like, the only reason people will know that or like you or side with you or want to be friends with you or be attracted to you in a certain way is if your core beliefs and theirs align. If your core values and theirs align. And a lot of people who don't understand people like me and you, they're like square ass motherfuckers. And they're like, why would he want a Lambo? Like, wouldn't you want to invest that in like some more passive income? It's like, bro, you're just not going to understand us. We come from a different life. Why are you trying to understand us so bad? You know, like, We don't get you either. Like, I don't get how you don't want to pull up in one.
Let me dig a little deeper then. Let's say Wes Watson has a problem, because you're a human being, right? Who do you rely on? Who do you call?
I literally have some of the clients that are some of the most famous people in the world. Like, literally one of the most famous people in the world called me one time, and this was enough for me to understand everything. And he goes, how you doing? And I go, what's up, bro? Is everything okay? Because this is the most famous person in the world. We all know who it is. And I'm like, is everything good, dog? And he's like, yeah, how's everything going? I'm like, I'm good. Like, what's up? And he's like, I'm just checking on you. And he goes, I'm like, I'm good. Fuck, how's everything with you? And he's like, I'm good. He's like, nobody checks on us. This is the most famous, give me the chills like a motherfucker, bro, right away. Like the most famous person in the world. And he goes, nobody checks on us. And that's what it was. So men like us, we got to check on each other. Like you guys out there, you're men like us who are higher level dudes who are pushing towards everything. Maybe you're not always seen by your partner. Your kids don't really understand. They don't know the work you put in. We have to support each other and see each other in a way that the world can't. Because most of the lower level people who aren't striving for success, they're just going to hate on you. They hate on what they gave up on. But I mean, this is the most famous person on the planet. And he said, nobody checks on us. And he was basically telling me, check on me more often, Wes. Like, can you check on me? And I do. All the time. What's up? How you doing? How's everything, And the dude will be long-winded on some topics that are like, I'm like, I didn't think you liked that topic. That's crazy. But it's talking to real high-level people who don't have a care in the world other than like their mindset, the way their life goes, how they operate. It really puts a different value on what I teach, which is personal development. Because a lot of people think like money's going to be made off teaching people how to make money.
Yeah.
They think that, like, make the most money off teaching people how to make money. Obviously, everyone wants money. No, you want money because you don't have that much money. The people who have money, they don't need money, and they're the best clients. What do they need? They need help living a better quality life. They need help with their lives. So I have a lot of clients that are billionaires, some of the most famous people on the planet, and they literally need help with their life. They don't need money. But then I have all these kids who are like, you make a lot of money off teaching people how to make money. I make way less of my money off that. Most of my money comes from personal development, not teaching branding online. And I try to teach these youngsters, I'm like, how are you going to get your story out there online if you're sitting there selling all day? Like, where's your story, bro? I don't even know anything about you. It's crazy.
I think most people, myself included, obviously I identified with you in terms of just like what you went through, but more importantly, the change and your mindset, like I was saying, and then the execution and the action, and you converted that into the life that you wanted to create. Because a lot of times you're like, you hear bullshit like destiny and shit like that, right? So like, I'm a firm believer that I create my destiny, 100%. That I already and manifest is just a fucking very vague word. It's like
you made the choice.
Correct. Without any action doesn't do shit. You know what I mean? It's just a good fucking idea.
If someone actually is telling me they're trying to manifest something and there's no direct action, it is the craziest shit ever. But that's like the people who complain about problems and they're not actively seeking a solution. They just want attention. That's the biggest thing. Anyone who always brings their problem to you and they're not actively seeking and applying a solution, they don't want results. They don't want to solve it. They just want attention. So you have to tell them that. And like the biggest thing behind most of it is that like we're all striving to be better, and we came from below where most people were. Since you being a drug addict, me being in prison, and us both living that type of life, they have no excuses when they talk to someone like us. So it's like most people don't really face true adversity. They're kind of just selfish. They're kind of just entitled. It's like they think, oh, Wes, I'm facing some adversity. You ain't facing adversity, bitch. You're just not getting your way, motherfucker. That's not adversity. You're just not getting your way. You ate today. You have everything. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, what? You don't have a Lambo yet? It's adversity? Shut the fuck up. I didn't even care if I got some shit like that. I don't even care if I keep my shit. I could give a fuck if I lost all my shit. And people think I'm all flossy. I almost want to lose everything and then still document it with the normalest clothes on and just walk to the gym again.
It don't matter.
Just go right back to square one. They're like, damn, this fool lives in a tiny ass place and he's just walking to the gym. He lost everything. And they won't even be able to tell on my face that I'm phased because I did my morning process and I feel great.
Even if,
motherfucker.
Man.
That's it.
And you guys, I mean, we were sharing stories earlier, and my homie right here has an issue he's going through. I'm not going to talk about it, but the thing is like everyone's going through some shit, and we're all gonna help each other get through it. And I fucking just know that you guys are making it a bigger problem than it is. When I was going through my first divorce, it was one thing that I used to tell people. They would come to me crying about like them going through divorce or breakup. I said, so you're complaining about the most common problem on the planet?
That happens to everybody.
It's literally the most common problem in the world. Oh no, the most common thing ever is happening to Wes Watson. Cry for him. Fuck that. Like, I mean, the whole thing is who are you during hard times? During times of adversity, who the fuck are you right then? And everyone sees crazy shit going on in my life, then they see me still get up. Like, that should be the fucking answer. Damn, this dude's going through some shit right now. I could tell it's probably pretty heavy on him. Still got up. Still got the work done. Can't really tell he's even phased. Like, what's up? That's the goal. Who can you be when the bottom falls out?
Because you're the only one you can rely on every morning when you get up. That self-talk, right?
Dude, wait.
Or that connection with God.
The whole thing is during times of adversity, through your self-talk and your actions, you're creating the next version of you.
That's growth. That's your
growth.
growth phase.
It's a growth
when
phase.
you're going through that pain and everything, I know it now. I see it. I'm like, oh, I know what's happening here. There's a lesson here. There's growth. I'm going to be better, I'm going to be more valuable. So now, like, you seek that adversity. You know how to fucking play it, and you go up a level over everybody else.
Yeah.
We even used to do it as kids, though, too, right? You want to challenge yourself, whether it's a fight, a teacher, somebody with a higher ranking than you, right? When you know in your mind, like, that's not what I want for myself. So let me challenge this dude a little bit and see what's up.
The hardest place for me is relationships. Like, I have so much heart. I'm such a fucking hopeful romantic. I want to be with one woman. I want to be a father. I want to fucking be the best for my family. And relationships are just so fucking difficult. And this is like an area, and don't you guys all message me your fucking advice, because if you got a 4 and she's just all, it's not going to be the same, bro. Like, you better have a Miami fucking 8+ if you're going to give me advice.
Hey,
and I'm talking about my 8+, not your, she's beautiful to me 8+.
An 8+ here is like a fucking totally
8+
different
in
another
Miami
state,
is
man.
a 57.
Yeah, it's
fucking across the planet.
in Wyoming.
Fuck, but like, don't give me your relationship advice. I've had people try to give me life advice, and I'm like, bro, I'm famous. Like, it's not the same. Like, even they're like, what about hiring an assistant? It's not the same for me. I have to watch who I hire and what their agenda is. Like people don't even, unless someone has my problems, they really don't like, unless someone has my lifestyle, they don't really know how to give me a solution. Cause I'll have to remind them like, oh no, you're talking about average ass people. And they're like, I'm average? I'm like, yes, what's wrong with that? Like, you're still average. Like, let's go to Pura Vida right here. Let's go to the airport. Let's go to LA and let's see what happens. Let's see if you're average and let's see if I'm not. We'll just see real quick. And yesterday, I got stopped by like 5 girls, like 7 dudes. Like, people were like, you're really that Wes Watson guy? And I'm like, I don't know if it's bad or good or whatever, but that's the one thing. I've never had a hater come up to me in person. So haters, stop fucking not upholding your hatred for me. Come to me in person and quit being such bitches. You guys talk so much. And I tell you, I'm at Elevation Gym, 5 a.m. weekdays, 8 a.m. weekends. And you can come any fucking time. And guess what's going to happen? I'm going to try to talk you out of it. And if it happens the way you think you want it to go, then we can have it that way. But this is the point. Quit letting everybody down. Like, quit letting yourself down too. Really follow through. I'm getting sick of it. I've never had a hater ever approach me in person. I think they just turn into fans when they see you. Like, oh, he's actually a beautiful man. Hey, how's it going?
They're blown away that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they're like,
wow,
whoa, I
respect
took a picture
that.
of Wes Watson. Their friend's like, you hate the guy.
He's
You
actually
heckle
a right
him
guy.
every day. The fuck? Like,
You said it, right? Like relationships with another human being, man.
bro,
It's everything and it's anything and it's the hardest thing.
I fucking wish like I could just, it always seems like it's going to be like perfect and work out, but women are so hard for me to work with because look at me, bro. I was in prison, and I'm admitting most of the time it's probably me. I was in prison for so fucking long, and I'm just like controlling aspects of men's lives in a good way. Like, no, we're not fucking doing that. And I'm real militant about it. And then like, I come to out in the street and I'm doing that for people as well with coaching and helping them. And people come to me because they want that type of militant teaching and accountability. And then I have a relationship and the person's like, women are pretty inconsistent. You know, it's just, they just aren't as consistent as men. And that's fine. I don't want my chick to be such a crazy go-getter where she's competing with me. I don't even want that. I like the feminine, stay at home like Angie. She's beautiful. She's such a great mom lover more than anything. I like that type of a woman. But there's a thing that's happening lately where they feel like they have to like do what their dude's doing or what compete with them, or they still have to like do certain shit like that. I don't know what the fuck's happening with this shift.
I feel like we kind of make them feel less than sometimes
Yeah.
because we're not listening or fulfilling what their dreams are, right? But they're not willing to go out and take the chances and go get it like somebody
Yeah,
like you is. I mean,
that's-
it's got to be intimidating as fuck though.
Yeah,
too.
being around someone who never misses and always kills everything, is super confident and speaks a certain way, it's got to be difficult for someone who's like, fuck, I barely made it through that day. This is going to go on how long? Fuck this.
This guy doesn't turn off. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, that's the thing, too.
So, like, where's the button?
I never turn off, bro. I go like this till I'm asleep, like dropping a phone on my face. Like, I'll be doing this all day. Like, I just talk to this
And your
everywhere.
battery doesn't get low,
No,
bro.
no.
You just high energy.
Because, well, the only reason this is a good answer for you guys. The only reason someone like me would be so energized and my battery wouldn't go low and I wouldn't hit that wall or have that fatigue is because I don't have negative self-talk. Like, anything negative drains you and anything positive will charge you. So I'm only thinking about how I'm going to kill it more, more. And I don't play defense. So people play so much defense. I play all offense. It's so much offense. It's fucking offensive. But I play all offense and I'm so positive about it that I'm charging myself like it's a battery plugged in. It's plugged into the positive side. I'm charging myself. But most people, they sit there, it's not going to work. Oh, I look stupid. Oh, this sucks. By the time they make it through the day, they're so beat down by their negative self-talk that they're drained. Like, I'm only pushing myself forward, only affirming myself, only committing deeper, and everything about it has God or the universe or wherever you believe this energy comes from. It just energizes you towards your purpose to keep you someone who can continually push this message.
That's woo.
I love it.
Like you're just talking to me
I
right
love
now,
it,
bro.
bro.
I love it too.
I mean, we need to go get some cars and just go fucking pull up right now.
Listen, that's
go.
what the fuck is that. Look, I like what you said before too. So you were like saying, problems, and you kind of stopped and switched. Is like the lifestyle I chose, because a lot of people get fucked up. They think it's problems, right? And it's a choice to like. I know for me, like, I'm grateful to have these challenges. I don't even like saying problems, right? Or adversity, because I get to figure it out, and that's where it brings value. And it's a lifestyle. Yeah. Luxury problems, as I say all the time.
And so much offense, it's offensive.
So much offense, I'm offending motherfuckers. That's 2024. They're like, what's he going to do next? And it was like, oh. And the next couple moves I got planned are going to be just fucking. People are going to start having heart attacks, dude. They're going to be like, what the fuck is this? It's like, dude, you don't keep track. Like, the numbers I say I've been doing for so long that I'm so far ahead, I don't have to make any more money. And I've made investments that bring me enough to like basically support my lifestyle, but I don't even touch that, so it builds up. Like, a lot of people who have wealth, they don't have money coming in like I do, just straight cash every day, So they're not able to live the life I live. But then, the whole thing is I don't even give a fuck about that. Like, I'll still run my programming like I'm in prison in my mansion. And then I'll still come drive my dope ass car to the gym and do my workout like I was using water bags in prison. It just doesn't fucking faze me. I'm okay with everything.
You have look, the defense thing's important too, because like growing up, I played defense a lot. It got me nowhere, right? And it was very negative. And you hang out with people like that. When I went on the offensive, right, and always offensive, I don't like, there's 365 days a year. So if 2 days are kind of like my odds are pretty fucking good. I'd rather play offense all year than fucking protecting myself from sudden shit that happens.
So that's the people who play defense, they're like, they project themselves onto you. So they're like, I don't know, Philippe, I don't know if you should make that choice. It's like, everything that would have ever made your life better, you stalled on, you procrastinated with, and you doubted. Like, I'm the one who makes it possible because I don't doubt. There's zero fear. There's just only faith that it's going to work out. And that's the whole thing. I don't even care about that. I don't even think that way. I only see how it's going to work. Basically, I saw Rich Piana and some other YouTubers and swole dudes while I was in prison talking about positive shit. And I was like, I'll do it better than them. Like, I'm going to do it better than them. I don't give a fuck. I was already committed to doing it better than them. I love Rich, and people could say whatever, like, this guy, whatever, but I made way more money, like way quicker and way easier. Like, I created a whole industry and streamlined something around coaching that is so easy that the top coaches come to me to remove everything they learned. Like, all the bullshit they're doing that's eating up their profit. I'm like, gone, here. Focus, post this, say this, close. And they're like, whoa, you just brought me an extra 1.5 million and saved me a shitload on what I was wasting money on. Like, I just know how to streamline shit. So that's what prison teaches you. You know how to do more with less.
Well, if you allow it to teach.
Yeah. A lot of people are dipshits in prison. So not everybody gets the answer. Everyone thinks the answer. Hey, send me some hard times. I'm gonna come out like Goggins. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You still gotta face the adversity correct. And that's the thing, like self-inflicted adversity versus unavoidable adversity. You have to self-inflict adversity and live a hard day every day so that you can prepare yourself when tough times really come. Because when tough times really come, you want that process of inviting hard times and inviting things that are difficult so that you have that mindset of, oh no, this is easy. I've done this before. Let's do this. You can't just step into that. That has to be created over time. That's a new neurological pathway that has to be created through doing the act.
So listen, you talked a little bit before I go, what's next? You set a standard for yourself, obviously, right? I believe, and I know you know this too, you're setting a standard for a lot of young men, people my age, it doesn't matter. There's a different standard, right? And obviously, you're not everybody's fucking cup of tea, and that's good because you don't want to, change for that shit. But what kind of standard do you see yourself setting in the future? You know what I mean? Maybe it is intentionally. I don't know. You know what I mean? Is there something you're looking to change in yourself or in other people? Obviously, you're transparent. You're going to be who you're going to be, right? But is there something else?
It's really about just seeing where life takes me. Just see where life takes me, pivot and adjust accordingly. And, I could be less reactive. I'm really reactive lately, but I have phases. So for some months at a time, I'll be so on point mentally. I'll be using conscious auto-suggestion to tell myself, oh, respond, don't react, Wes. And I'm more conscious about solving that problem. So I really have to just be conscious about that issue, use conscious auto-suggestion to suggest the fail-safe, which is response instead of reaction, which I've done that for big phases of my life and been successful at it. But when you have so many things on your plate like I do, you kind of forget about everything becomes the main thing. Right now, my wife and kids are the main thing. That's the main thing in my life, and I want to get them comfortable, make them happy, make sure they're good, and that they have daily activities and programs and stuff. But then this other thing becomes a thing, and then this, and then you have fucking, you have lawyers, and you have accountants, and you have a business, and so it really does become a issue of bandwidth when you come to a certain level, and you have to pick and choose. So I would honestly probably have to have some form of accountability coach in that area. It would be smarter for me to pay someone to remind me of that one thing. I should essentially have 3 or 4 coaches on things that matter to me a lot and have them have a system for me in place to where I attack that problem more efficiently and accurately by carving out a window of time to work on it. Because anything you don't work on will never fucking change.
Correct.
When you said that auto response, what is
a conscious auto suggestion? So let's say you have trouble overeating or drinking. Well, you know that the Friday's coming and you're gonna want to drink, and you'd be telling yourself, the test is coming. The test is coming. I'm gonna want to drink, and the test is coming. I can't fail the test. And you'd have to consciously auto suggest this to yourself all throughout the day, to where when the test comes, you don't have an excuse oh no, but today I made a bunch of money and it's all good. No, you've told yourself all day you're not doing this. And you have to tell yourself a lot. Even before I used to go do bar work in prison, I'd be laying in my rack and it'd be like counting sheep. I'd just be bing, 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 like thinking about pull-ups I'm doing. And then I'd go to the dip bar, ding, ding, and I'd just make it so easy and fluid in my mind to where I would like be better at doing pull-ups and dips by envisioning them the night before, you know? And that's the same thing with conscious auto-suggestion, is like rewiring and creating that, because we're habitual constructs. If you think something often enough and make it a habit, you're much more likely to bring it into fruition in the tangible environment and make it a part of your life, you know?
That's actually the definition of manifesting, is bring it into
Yeah,
life
yeah,
by doing it habitually, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth
Real
of it.
habitual construction is the definition of manifesting. You know, you make it a habit, you align, you set up these habits. Like when I work with someone, I set up their daily habits that are aligned with the outcome they want. So now we set up the daily habits, they fucking actually apply the daily habits, they execute on them. Now we've actually acquired the outcome or manifested it, you know? I mean, if they're really vision boarding it before, but I'm not a vision board type of motherfucker. I'm the motherfucker who the night before Googles every pad he could afford, every plane he could afford, every car he could afford that he wants. And I look at him before I go to sleep, you know? And I'm like, what do I want to buy next? Or watches, stuff like that. That's what I do. And my downtime right before bed, I just look up everything I want to buy soon, you know? And people are like, well, it's not all about materialistic things. Bro, you haven't been able to buy anything for so long. Shut the fuck up. Like you aren't looking to buy.
It's cop out. It's not all about materialistic shit.
It's a cop out. Look at this
whole
whole
you
thing.
don't have any, so
We're not living in needs anymore. We made it to wants, motherfucker. We're not trying to go back to needs. So we're gonna do everything we can. But if I have to go back to that, you'll never see me miss on what built me the first time. That's what everyone does. They build their life, they build themselves, they construct themselves in one way. We're using one system and some habits and a certain mindset. Then when they get there, they get comfortable and they stop doing what got them there in the first place. Now they're confused why they're back as this person that they were before, because it happens like that.
momentum.
Fuck.
There's no more momentum after that.
How do you not allow yourself to slide back down that scale? It's,
Massive accountability. I do it by just talking mad shit about my old self. You know, people think I'm talking shit about people, but I'm really talking shit about everything I'm holding myself from. So I talk shit about taking days off because I know that'll fucking bring me one. Talk shit about being broke. I talk shit about being overweight. I talk shit about drinking. I talk shit about all these things so that I'm so held to it, there's no way I could do it. I'd be the biggest hypocrite ever.
And you don't glorify it.
so you're talking to your former self, really, when you're
Any
out
video
there.
I make, I'm talking to my former self, and people think I'm talking to them.
So you know that out there. He's not talking to you.
I'm talking about the old me who tries to resurface all the time, and I'm yelling at the motherfucker.
Pop up every once in a
Yeah.
while. Yeah. Listen, I go through that too. I'm like, let these motherfuckers know who I was once in a while. You know what I mean? And then like you got to bury it down again and understand why you don't got to do that shit. Why you got to prove it.
Respond,
I love
not
that
react.
shit.
Cool. All right. I think we're pretty good on time. Wes, thank you so much,
Thank you,
brother.
bro. So good.
It was
So
fucking
good.
it was
So
man.
good,
Really,
man.
really cool,
Appreciate
man.
you,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank you guys for checking in, man. Really appreciate it. See you next time.